Hey everybody, what we want to talk about right now is we want to talk about the illness and sickness of women and their inability to be leaders while pretending to be leaders while they teach other people how not to be leaders. It's very, very masked based off looks, men's diamond rings, and men's support to push them into the spotlight as they make brand deals and pose for videos and photos, and you as unsuspecting audience members don't realize some of you know what you're doing. Some of you are loyal fans to the particular person. Some of you have literally just walked away and you've sold the country out without even realizing that you sold the country out by not saying anything about the fact that a Persian is sitting on Pix 11 talking nonsense about celery root. Doesn't make any fucking sense why someone who is not a chef would show up on Pix 11 and talk about a Thanksgiving meal while talking about cooking when she's not even a chef. She doesn't cook food. She even hires a food stager. So all she is a mannequin standing in front of you while you all eat that shit up, or you know that it's a 9/11 airplane into a building. Meanwhile, your men, let's just go with men first. You are the men who are trying to grow businesses, and all you do is you allow that perverted feeling to be seen by your audience instead of being self-aware that either you are that or are you not that. Are you not that? Because if you're not that, then I'd fight my ass off to make sure that the lady standing in front of me knows that you're a gentleman and that you're not putting up with that dumbass shit because you got 2 kids and you got a wife that's annoying as shit, and then she's going through a devil worshiping stage. However, you are a man, and a man doesn't turn their back on their responsibilities, which is the 2 kids, although it's questionable whether your kids are going to survive this shit because of a dude named Gary Vee who's putting a diamond ring on a woman named Mona Van, who's Persian, who tells you she's Persian, and then they're inviting her onto a New York 9/11 where she's talking about Thanksgiving, not American. That seems really fucking mentally ill, doesn't it? But that's DEI. So what we have going on is a bunch of people who proclaim they want to be, I wouldn't say that the words of this is what these people speak out, is they'll say things like, I want to be an influencer. No, you don't. You'll want to be famous. I want to have passion about being an influencer. No, you don't. You just want to feel something inside you because you're inadequate in all areas of your life. Not to mention, you're not willing to fight for what's right, like our ancestors did on Thanksgiving when we had to fight for the land, or when the American Revolution occurred and we had to fight the British to stay off our land. See, we're going through an era of transformation of a group of people who are the British, known as the Democratic Party, while they're trying to allow Middle East, the ways of Qatar, which all you have to do is go watch Qatar or Hollywood and how they behave, and they're trying to make that the new family when those people are miserable as shit. See, when you're young, and those of you who remember the old days, you used to look at that in admiration, and you wanted to be a part of that shit. However, you didn't really know what it actually took or what they were taking from you. And so you just act as if they're all friendly because they're all working in acting skills and music skills and trained animal behavior of being a fake. They literally look at you and they think you're a loser. They create a fan base of fandoming where you all are like shaking and you're nervous and shit. That's because the person in front of you isn't a human being. They're a anxiety-driven sicko who taught you how to behave like that. And then when you don't behave like a celebrity, you get pissed off about it. Meaning they want you to be super friendly and super nice, and then they bitch and moan when you're not nice and friendly in like an over-the-top kind of way, but that's not human behavior. which in turn, when you behave like that, they then worship the ground you walk on, and then you think you're a queen. Because then they're shaking and shit. So celebrities don't have any fucking brain on their fucking shoulders. They don't have the capability to uphold influence. Neither do these little shits on this platform. However, what they are in a collective is able to guide the minds of the way it looks as if they're famous, because all you want is money and fame. Although money and fame is not worth having when you're all sick as fuck. And we are watching Charli D'Amelio collapse every single day, every time she gets on the Broadway stage to perform that weird ass shit that she's up to. Every dance that you see on platform is your sign that these kids are mentally fucking sick. It's like going from music like Elvis Presley to going to music like Kanye West, except Kanye West and Elvis Presley didn't really have the intent of what Charli D'Amelio has intended, and Kanye West actually has intelligence, which is why I used him as an example, and so did Elvis Presley. They were evolving in character, and some of it went a little too far because Kim Kardashian showed up, and all of a sudden Taylor Swift shows up getting her, MTV Music Awards stolen off the stage? How stupid can you be? That's when you knew that reality television had crossed the fucking line. So we're watching a reality television show amongst a bunch of sick-ass people who already have money, who are trying to mind guide the masses into a specific way of thinking while they create misery for all you business owners. Because if you own a music store and you're selling records, you should know that there's a group of people that would be interested, and accept the fact that there's people out there that would not be interested. Just like if you're a fitness influencer and a real one, you would know that some people are interested in the way that you teach influence when it comes to fitness, and some people are just plain disgusting. And that would be every woman we're watching with weird ass spandex while she shows us her flimsy arms with weird ass content about how she's growing her body, but it still looks like you're a fucking twig with flabby thighs. And in the history of her experience of influence in fitness, she's never done anything except for shown herself every now and then on a Pilates machine. Not on the machine, just standing next to it. So if you don't practice what you preach, then nobody practices and you're just preaching. Monkey see, monkey do. You don't actually deliver on anything or any form of entrepreneurship, and then you definitely don't fight against it to protect your children for the future of where this is headed, while we're being infiltrated by a lot of foreigners who they just don't understand what it means to be part of a democracy. They think that the democracy is that they're able to post anything, anywhere, anytime, and the democracy does not include countries across the globe. And that doesn't include filming your neighbor or filming a stranger when they're irritated, like the Palestinian dude did to that old lady. Now that's illegal. And you purposely instigated her. I want to remind everybody, the hate crime came from the Palestinian, and then he used a pregnant wife as a manipulation tactic to you as the audience, because he was violating that lady's personal space. And I'm not fucking kidding you on that one. And don't you worry, I know what kind of woman that is. But you better believe that when I see it, I'm going to speak it. And that Palestinian piece of shit was the fucking problem. And she's also a problem in her own little world. But we're talking about the instance that happened at the coffee shop. And there's no fucking reason that our judicial system would take the side of a Palestinian freak over that old lady and calling what she did a hate crime. Go fuck yourselves. At least somebody was willing to stand up for America, especially when she knew something wasn't right. So she protected herself from that piece of shit.